Do you want to host a workshop that delivers powerful results for your participants, but you're afraid your energy isn't big enough, loud enough, or sparkly enough to engage people or lead them? In this video, we're going to talk about how to host a captivating workshop, even if you don't feel particularly captivating yourself. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. If you caught the earlier videos in this series, you know why writing a book is one of the best ways to get your ideal clients seeking you out, why hosting a workshop is one of the best ways to write your book, and the 6 steps to hosting a workshop to write your book effectively. I'm Kara Stein, the founder of 17,000 Days. I've been helping people publish their books since 2012, and I've guided over 200 books through the publication process, including 4 bestsellers of my own. More importantly, I've gotten this working in my business, so my books market my business and give me the life of my dreams. In this video, I want to talk about what it takes to host a captivating workshop. When I decided to host my first event, this was the part that terrified me the most. I've never been outgoing or considered myself a leader. I actually prefer to stay in my cave or off to the side in a corner while someone else leads everyone. How did I even get myself into this? Yet something inside me really wanted to do this. I couldn't even explain it. I just knew that the intimacy of working with a small group of people live and the wonder and magic of helping them get results, that was something I wanted. It was something I couldn't resist. So I knew I had to overcome my fears. How did I do it? This was 2016, and my visibility fears were big and real. From where I was at the time, I knew I couldn't do it on my own, so I got support. I joined a program hosted by Darla Ledoux, and I'm going to tell you something she told me that completely changed the way I look at hosting events. As the host and creator, it's easy to think the whole event rests on us, but that's actually not true. There are 4 elements that come together to make a powerful event, and you're only one of those elements. The others are the structure and experience you create, the content you deliver, and the group you gather. Once I realized I was only a quarter of the mix, I was only a quarter as nervous that I couldn't deliver. Seriously, hosting my first event was one of the scariest things I've ever done. Definitely in the top 5, and one of the most exhilarating. It changed the way I see myself and what I'm capable of forever. I actually saw my first event as a flop going into it. I had this big vision. I wanted 10 people, so I rented an 11-bedroom cabin in the Smokies to host the retreat, and I hired a chef. But then, despite going all out for weeks to sell it, I only enrolled 1 participant. It was so embarrassing to show up at this whole huge cabin for just 1 participant, kind of like the opposite of social proof. And even though it was only 1 person, I was super nervous. He had a lot of results he wanted to get, and a lot of experts had tried before. People from Vanderbilt. Who was I to think I could help him get them when nobody else had? But by the end of the weekend, we had experienced so much together. Amazingly enough, he got all but one of his results in the retreat. And then the last insight he needed clicked together on the drive home. It was the most exhilarating thing I've ever done, and I was hooked. I knew I had no idea why it had worked so well, and I wanted to be able to know I could deliver. So I signed up for coaching school and did a whole year-long program to become the best coach I could be. That's how excited and inspired I was from that first event. Even though I thought I wasn't captivating, charismatic, or even interesting. That's the power of the transformational event framework. Again, credit Darla Ledoux. To host a powerful event, all you have to do is make the most of these 4 elements. Element 1 is yourself. It's tempting to get this wrong by thinking you're not enough and trying to be someone else. More big, more loud, more bubbly, more extroverted. Don't do that. The most powerful thing you can do is show up exactly as you, your real self, and be as conscious and present as you can be. The easiest way to do that is to call out exactly what's happening as it happens. If you feel nervous, you can say, I'm feeling nervous right now because I want to make sure I deliver a powerful experience for you. Or you can turn it into a story or make a joke about it. When I was defending my dissertation proposal, I set out some snacks for my committee. I opened my talk by inviting people to get some of the snacks if they hadn't already. And then I joked that I had considered bringing turkey and warm milk so they'd all just fall asleep and then wake up and pass me. It wasn't a great joke, but it accomplished 2 things. It connected with my audience, and more importantly, it loosened me up. It reminded me that I'm just a person and they're just people, and we're all here to accomplish the same goals. That's what you want. I found that the sooner I can relax and drop my self-consciousness, the more powerful I am as a speaker and leader, and the more people love listening to me. All this time, I thought I had to turn into a cheerleader for people to like me, and that's not true at all. All I had to do is be real, and it's the same for you. Element 2 is the structure and experience. Simply by creating your workshop, giving it a title, declaring the outcome, and preparing the schedule, you set your participants on the road to getting the outcome. They've stepped away from their regular work and routines to focus on this topic and work toward the transformation and the outcome. All of that creates the clarity and focus that will help them actually get it. The third element is your content. It's easy to get mixed up and think the content is everything and bring way too much content to fit into the time, especially since we're recording a whole book here. So you need to balance that. Your content isn't everything, it's 1/4, but it is super valuable. As you explain your process and guide your participants through the exercises you've created for them, the whole thing starts to feel more concrete and doable for them. They may have had only a hazy idea of how the whole thing works going in, but by the time they've been through your content, they'll have a clear picture of exactly what it takes and how to do it. They'll have the information they need, and that's crucial for their ability to do it. And then finally, the fourth element is the group itself. This is where magic happens, because you as the host don't really have much control over who shows up, especially if you didn't do a one-on-one sales process. But the perfect people always show up, and it's always amazing how much synergy you'll find in the group. As your participants work together, experience your coaching, do the exercises, and witness each other, they start to support each other. Their ideas multiply with your ideas, and the whole thing becomes exponential. But that can only happen if you're confident enough in yourself to let it. If you're threatened by people in the group knowing things you don't, or you feel like you have to be the only person who helps anyone, you cut off the magic of the group, and everyone in your workshop misses out. It can be hard sometimes not to get defensive when one of your participants speaks up, but you don't have to see them as competition. Every bit of value delivered in this workshop is part of the experience created by you. For every brilliant participant you brought in, it's like they're a special guest expert hired by you. When you see it that way, it's easier to let go and let all of the magic happen. And it really does feel like magic. When these four elements come together, it creates something more powerful than you could have ever imagined if you'd tried to control every detail. And that's what makes hosting workshops addictive. That and witnessing the transformation, breakthroughs, and results of your participants. There's nothing like it for feeling like you're doing everything right, you're fulfilling your purpose, and you're doing what you came here to do. I hope you get to experience that for yourself. Now, if you're like me, you may be super psyched to host your workshop, but you still need participants. How are you going to sell it? It's everyone's worst nightmare to have this big vision and do all the work and plan and create it, only to have no one show up. Instead, I want to see you sell out your workshop. We're going to talk about how to do that in the next video, so make sure you catch that one. Meanwhile, if you already know you'd like some support with your workshop, I've created a program for you. It's called Workshop Magic, and you can get the details below or by going to workshop-magic.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.